Today's video features an incredible and occasionally brilliant Harlem Soul trio that recorded during the 70s and returned intermittently in the decades thereafter. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Black Ivory. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push the notification bell to be sure you won't miss on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. The Mellow Souls, as they were initially named, formed in Harlem, New York during the summer of 1969. The members were all teenagers: Lawrence New Kirk, Fraulein Ramirez, Michael Harris, Leroy Burgess, Stuart Bascombe. The group began by auditioning on the phone with musician Patrick Adams. After meeting with them, he brought the group under his supervision. Adams began training and developing the group, and he concluded that 5 was too many to deal with, so Harris quit. Over time, the 4 remaining members, now as Black Ivory, began playing at private parties, block parties, and social events. They won their second live performance, a talent show at Roosevelt High School in the Bronx. In an effort to get the group signed, Adams initiated talks with Gene Red Jr. about a prospective agreement with his company, Red Coach Records. Red Jr. also managed the band Kool and the Gang, and in order to give Black Ivory publicity, he arranged for the group to open the gang shows at many East Coast locations. Russell Patterson replaced Ramirez in 1970, and Newkirk went to further his study. The surviving members, Leroy Burgess, Stuart Bascombe, and Russell Patterson, became the group we know today as Black Ivory. Adams scraped together all the money he could to record the group's debut song, Don't Turn Around. Before signing with Today Records, Adams submitted the tape to several uninterested labels. That label had a drastically different perspective, and they signed the group based on the recording. Adams wrote the song, Don't Turn Around, which peaked at number 38 on the R&B charts in 1971. Black Ivory experienced their first taste of success. Not only that, but Today Records offered Adams, who was only a teenager at the time, an A&R position. Another run of top 40 singles accompanied the trio's first album, 1972's Don't Turn Around. The album lasted on the charts for over 5 months, peaking at number 13, which is a remarkable performance for a tiny indie company. That year, the group's hot streak was finished off with the second album, Baby, Won't You Change Your Mind. That album yielded another string of songs and peaked at number 26. Today Records had financial difficulties, and the group, dissatisfied with underpaid royalties, ended up riding out the final year of their contract. After his contract with Today expired, Black Ivory briefly signed with the Kwanzaa record label. The Kynes Bellman Drayton Turner combination wrote and produced What Goes Around Comes Around, which peaked at the bottom of the R&B charts. When the group joined Buddha, a label with a larger budget, their popularity was on the decline, and subsequent attempts to regain it failed. Furthermore, Adams no longer produced the group and appeared to be completely out of the picture. Burgess departed the group on amicable terms in 1977 to pursue various pursuits. However, he returned briefly a year later to contribute the group's most memorable song, the dance hit, Mainline.
Nothing is the same, ever since you came, my baby.
Leonard Adams, the group's manager at the time, phoned the late Burgess and asked if he had any songs to share with the group, which was prepared to release another album. Burgess occurred to have 2 songs composed for an unfinished project. So he contributed those 2 songs, Mainline and Hustlin', You Gotta Be Dancing, and ended up momentarily returning to the group to offer arrangements and background vocals for them. and Mainline became the group's most well-known tune and a fan favorite on dance floors. By the beginning of the 80s, Black Ivory had disappeared. Patterson recreated the brand in the mid-80s, collaborating with David Hart and Lenny Adams. As one might expect, the absence of 2/3 of the old group limited the new Black Ivory. This incarnation did not endure very long. However, Bascom, Patterson, and Burgess reunited in the early 2000s for infrequent performances. Burgess has long ago become a cult figure as one of the key pioneers of house music. Burgess was responsible for an even bigger number of disco and boogie tracks that listeners of melodic dance music continue to appreciate under other pseudonyms. He continued to work on and off with Patrick Adams, another pioneer and key influence who organized, produced, composed, and performed on numerous important albums. Patterson again collaborated with Burgess in the interim years, providing vocals for the stunning Salzo recordings released in 1981 under the name Log. The group released numerous up-tempo disco songs, but because they were not renowned for the style, they were unable to compete when disco became the dominant music style. After Burgess left in 1977, Bascom and Patterson remained together until the early 80s, when they disbanded. The group regrouped and returned to the stage on the Classic Soul Circuit in 1995, with all three original members performing the majority of the leads. They've been performing and recording together ever since. In recent years, Black Ivory has released a Christmas song called Snow, written by Burgess and Patterson, and in November 2011, Black Ivory created, produced, and released a new album called Continuum on their own label SLR Records. Black Ivory is one of the featured performers in the award-winning 2018 documentary, Mr. Soul, which is based on Ellis Hazlip, the host and executive producer of Soul, the first Black Tonight Show. Soul premiered in 1968 as a local New York broadcast. The series premiered nationally on PBS in 1969 on WNET Channel 13. Hazlip had produced approximately 130 hour-long presentations with a variety of guests. Leroy Burgess and Stuart Bascom are contributing writers on the track, getting up on rapper and musician Q-Tip's nominated Best Rap Album of the Year, The Renaissance, at the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards. In 2019, Black Ivory celebrated their 50th anniversary in the music industry. Throughout 2019, they received several prizes and proclamations to commemorate their milestone, including a 13-page story in the London magazine The Soul Survivors. On October 19, 2019, they played and earned prizes at London's famous Jazz Cafe. As of this recording, Black Ivory is one of the few soul and R&B groups from the 1970s still performing with all of the original members from their first recordings. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What are your favorite songs from Black Ivory?